If I woke up tomorrow and I had absolutely zero muscle mass and a skinny pencil neck, this is exactly how I would gain my first 5 to 10 kilograms of muscle using what I like to call the triangle of growth, and it is so fucking simple. So firstly, we're going to be starting off with the number one thing that's going to help us grow muscle in the first place, which is our training method. And we're going to be focusing on the staple 6 exercise movements. And what this means, it is a set of 6 movement patterns that we need to be focusing on religiously inside of the gym for our whole entire lifting career if we want to be maximizing our gains. And what they are is vertical push, vertical pull, horizontal push, horizontal pull, a hip hinge, and a hip flexion movement. And it's these 6 exercise patterns which are going to get us 90% of our gains inside of the gym. And for some reason, people are doing it all wrong and they're doing exercises that don't even fall under any category of this, and they wonder why they still look like shit and they're still small. And by the way, if you want to know how to incorporate the staple 6 movement patterns and go beyond building your first 5 to 10 kilograms of muscle and get an aesthetic, attractive physique, then check the link in the description, because it's where I help overlooked guys change the way they look so they can change how they're treated in the real world. But going on, we have to be pulling faces. We have to be looking like a fucking weirdo, pulling faces, and that is because of the effort we are putting in. And it all comes down to 2 things: progressive overload and training to failure. Progressive overload is the key mechanism of which we're going to build muscle, right? It basically means we're getting stronger and training more intensely over time. So this means we're adding weight, we're adding reps, we're adding sets, we're adding intensity, right? We're making things harder for ourselves, because building muscle is not a natural process in the body. You have to be doing something that is, going to force muscle growth, and that is to keep getting stronger so our muscles break down and then they have to build back stronger to keep putting up with the weights we're trying to lift. And to do this easier, we're going to make sure that we are training to failure in every single workout, 90% of our sets, okay? So this is when you're literally going to be grunting and think you're going to fucking die and think the bar is going to fall on you, but you just want to keep pushing. You just want to keep pushing because this is the stimulus we need. We need this effort factor to actually gain muscle, and the further along in your journey you get, the more important this is. If we see our physique as a cake, right, we are going to build the main layer, the main bread part of the physique by doing the staple 6 movements and by progressively overloading it and training them to failure in all of our workouts. And then we want to be putting some nice icing on our cake, and that is going to be done through isolation movements. These are single joint movements like bicep curls, like side delt raises, like rear delt flies, like tricep push downs, like leg extensions even. All things that are not going to act as the fundamental movements, right, like the staple 6, but they're still going to add quality to our physique. And the way we can do this effectively to maximize the way we're treated in real life, to get the most attractiveness and the most benefits, is to do gaze training. It is to train isolation movements that improve our female gaze, right? For guys, these are going to be exercises like side delt raises to build the V-taper illusion on our shoulders and build that cap side delt. And it's going to be biceps to build the ever so sought after bicep, which girls literally fucking bite if you have one. I don't understand why the fuck they do that, but that's just how it works, don't ask me. So those 2 movements specifically are going to be the key isolation movements you're going to train, as well as the staple 6, to get the most benefits out of your physique. Now next we're going on to frequency. See, we know we have to be training hard and progressively overloading, but how often do we fucking train, right? Because most of the guys are in there doing workouts 7 days a week and they wonder why they still look like shit. And this is especially the case for beginners. When I first started, I thought that I had to be training every single day to get the most benefits, but your body needs rest, and if you're not resting, then you're not growing. It's simple as that. Inside the gym, we break the muscle down. It's outside of the gym where we're recovering, where we're actually building it up. So we don't want to be training every single day. We want to be lifting weights 3 to 4 times weekly, especially in this beginner phase, because your body is not used to such volume. Like I said, building muscle is a shock activity to your fucking brain and to your nervous system and to your whole body in general. So we don't want to be bombarding it and going every single day, because we're going to be cortisol maxing and we're not going to get gains, okay? So 3 to 4 times weekly. You don't need to be in the gym for 4 hours, but I still like to have a long session, so it's whatever you want. But as long as you're doing the appropriate exercises, which again, you can find out the exact training plans, the exact routine on how to do inside of the link in the description. But the order of activities is very, very important. Okay, we know that we have to do isolations. We know that we have to do staple 6, which are also known as compounds in most cases. We also want to be doing cardio so we don't end up fat, right? Because even though we're bulking, even though we're trying to gain our first 5 to 10 kilos of muscle, We don't want to be getting fat, because that's when you look like a sack of potatoes, you look like shit, and there's no point building muscle in the first place. So we want to be starting off with a small dynamic workout inside of our, inside of our lifting. So do some stretching, warm up your shoulders, warm up your hips, do all these things. Maybe go for a 5 to 10 minute walk. But I would not recommend doing high intensity cardio before you lift weights, because it's going to tax you of your glycogen, which is how your body is going to store energy for muscles to be used. And it's also just going to generate general fatigue because your heart's working and all these other things, right? So order of activities: light warm up, go lift your heavy ass staple 6 movement weights in whatever order or progression you want. And then you're going to do your isolations to finish. And then you can do some like light stretching and then do your cardio after, okay? And when it comes to sets, reps, and intensity and volume, I have made the mistake of thinking that the old 4x12, 4 sets of 12 workouts were the best for gains. I was wrong. It's when I switched to a lower volume approach, but with higher intensity, which is when I got the most gains. And I recommend that for you, especially beginners, because I'm here to save your time and I don't want you to fucking spin your wheels like I did. So for each exercise, 2 sets maximum. 2 sets is all you need. You can do a heavy set at the start and then slightly lower, like a back off set, that's what it's called. Or you can just do 2 heavy as fuck failure sets, okay? Mind you, the second one is going to be harder to get the same reps that you did in the first. As for rep range, no more than 12, bro. I don't want to see guys going in and doing fucking 15, 20 reps. Yes, the studies show that you can build muscle up to like 35, 50 reps or some bullshit. But realistically, you don't have the mental capacity and the mental muscle connection to know when you're truly reaching failure. And we know that reaching failure is the main way we're going to be overloading and able to achieve growth. So keep it easy to measure. Keep it easy to fucking analyze. You're going to be able to know that you can't fucking get the bench press weight up if it's going to fall on your head and crush you and kill you, right? Rather than doing a 48 rep workout of bicep curls, you could realistically go all day. So just keep it simple, keep the reps lower. I usually like to do 4 to 8 reps in most of my sets. That's what works for me. And again, intensity, heavy as possible, as hard as we can. Pull faces, train like a fucking spastic. Train like that motherfucker that has his hoodie on inside the gym that people think is like genuinely insane. So that being said, now on to recovery, the final piece of the puzzle that we need to know to train to get a good physique and build our muscle. So first thing I want to tell you is we need to be focusing on boosting our testosterone, right? And you can see here my little cute drawing. It's a guy, he's got wood and he's dreaming about girls, okay? This is how you should be. You shouldn't be waking up with a fucking soft dick like a fucking loser. You shouldn't have low energy when you wake up. You need to be maximizing your testosterone to do this. The simplest way I would recommend on how to do this is to start consuming a fuck ton of eggs. 4 to 6 eggs before you go to bed is the sweet spot. It's going to contain enough dietary cholesterol to not give you a heart attack, but to actually improve your testosterone overnight. And that's why you're going to be waking up bricked and you're going to have higher energy. As well, when we boost our testosterone, it's going to make it easier for us to speed up our muscle growth also, because of all the different pathways that are optimized through having high test and fucking libido. So next, we're going to go into sleep boosters, okay? Recovery, obviously we know it's about sleeping, okay? So the 3 things that I would recommend for you to maximize your sleep, you've heard it before, you need 8 hours, shut the fuck up. Sleep boosters, sleep with a cold room temperature. This is optimal for our body so we don't wake up as much. We're going to get restful sleep. Bang. Blue light. I like to limit my blue light before bed, limit your screen time, limit your phones. As a hack on the phone, you can actually put an orange color filter. So when you triple click on the side of the phone, it goes orange and you don't have to fuck around in the settings. It takes forever. That way your brain is going to start regulating and actually, desensitizing from the world so it can actually fucking fall asleep and recover. And now this is the same thing in the morning as well, because sleeping is not the only facet of recovery. It's also when you wake up, you don't want to be blasting your fucking brain with blue light the second you wake up. I know fucking motherfuckers that literally go into bed and use their phone, and then they wake up and they pick up their phone and start fucking scrolling Instagram reels the second they wake up. No, your bed should be used for 2 things, bro. 1, sleeping. 2, slamming. Final thing is routine. Go to bed at the same time, wake up at the same time within a 10 to 20 minute window. This is the best for me. Whenever I don't do this, I feel like fucking shit, even if I get 8 hours of sleep. Now, the final thing for recovery is simply your mindset. You have to be willing and able to go again and to keep focusing on this triangle of growth for a longer period of time, because especially beginners, especially when I started out, I was getting pissed off and I got so angry because I wasn't making gains quick. I was making a lot of mistakes, but Even if you follow this triangle of growth, it is still going to take time. It's still realistically going to take like a year. You know, the brutal reality of it is, if you're natural, if you're a normal guy, maybe even assuming you have below average genetics like I did myself, you're going to run into problems. Shit's going to happen. You can't go by what these people on the internet say, where these guys are going from like fucking skinny fat to like fucking Arnold level physique in like 2 years. The reality of it is, it's going to take you years in this game. It's going to take you like 5 years to build a really good physique if you're consistent all the time, right? But the main thing is the triangle of growth. Understanding these three factors will get you to the first 5 to 10 kilograms of muscle. This is a beginner's guide. This is the fundamentals, excluding nutrition, which is a whole nother video in itself, which I'll make shortly. But these are the things you're going to need to know, the main fundamentals, if you actually want to build muscle and actually want to get fit. And it's what I do. It's what I'd focus on if I woke up tomorrow with zero muscle. So I hope this helped. Remember, if you want the extensive guide, if you want the extensive routines, check the link in the description. Progress is purpose, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.